I started drumming very late. I was 19, and I was walking past a drum shop one day in Portsmouth, in England, where I come from. Not Portsmouth, Massachusetts, of course. And there was a sign in the window, drum lessons, £5. So, I just like zapped in there and thought, okay, let's try this. And I had a couple of lessons. There was a guy there called John Hammond, who was a great guy, and he was very supportive and said, you know what, you could do this if you spend some time with it. You could be quite good at drumming, So it was really supportive and antithetical to my education, which hadn't worked at all. So I had a couple of lessons. I joined a punk band, a local punk band called Acid Attack. They were terrible, I know. In fact, the band, the guitarist, was so shy, he had an extra long cable for his guitar, and sometimes he would do the whole gig from the dressing room. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so the guy I replaced used to get really tired halfway through the songs and stop. And he, in this age of like many pedals and multi-foot techniques that we see all over the place, he had a different tact, and that was to not use the bass drum at all. He used to just use it for the small tom. So stopping halfway through the songs and not using the bass drum. So they thought I was like Gene Krupa or something. It was like, wow, this guy can get all the way through the song, and of course all I had was buff chat at various tempos. I call it the versatile buff chat, because you could do it, really fast or really slow. So, that was good. And yeah, that was the start. The transition into Indian drumming. I mean, I moved to London probably about 2 years after that. Actually, I was working on the docks. I finished that, left there, and moved to London, and I got a bedsit, horrible little bedsit, room with no window, room without a view, and it had been used as a concrete store. So you get out of bed and all the dust had come up, and you'd be like, oh mate, this is like 9 months of hell. Didn't know anyone, didn't have any money. But anyway, after a while you start to play in some bands, you meet some people, and after some time there was a festival in London, Festival of India in Alexander Park in London, and through that I got to hear Indian music for the first time. It was just a friend of mine lived nearby, and the music came in the window one summer's night, and we went over, looking, what is this music? Where's this sound coming from? And it was Zakir Hussain, Ustad Zakir Hussain, and the late Ali Akbar Khan on an instrument called the sarod, which is an amazing instrument played with, it's like a kind of slide sort of instrument with a fretless fingerboard. Amazing. And I was blown away. It's just this massive sound and virtuosity. It was a massive sized auditorium, and they were right at the front, obviously, as you would be, performing. And they were just two tiny dots on the front of the stage, but this massive sound coming out. So that made a really big impact on me. And then a couple of weeks later, I saw an advert in the paper, tabla lessons, and that was the beginning of it. I was very lucky because after a couple of the group lessons, the tabla teacher, a guy called Yusuf Ali Khan, nephew actually ironically of Ali Akbar Khan, the guy I'd seen with Zakir Hussain, and he said, look Pete, come on, I'll teach you for nothing, you just come whenever you want. And I used to go and hang out and he'd show me loads of stuff, and it was kind of a good introduction to Indian music. Of course, all the stuff that I learned about Indian music, including my studies on South Indian music, was all done in London. One of the things that attracts me a lot to any company really is when you know that the people behind the company are players, and particularly with Vic Firth, where you've got such a fantastically accomplished musician and someone who's really been along the road as a great performer. It's really important that you have this connection, that people really can understand what the instrument is, what the role of what the artist does, and it's a really important part of the relationship. So I think that's certainly one thing that's very important. Also, the idea of product control. The fact that you're going to roll all of those sticks. You could roll them from here to Miami. They're all going to roll straight, and each pair you're going to have pretty much the same weight, the same tone from the sticks. They're really important aspects, and it's not something that I can brush away the importance of at all.